Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So in today's video, I will be giving you guys my Washington football team versus New York Giants Week 9 preview. I will start off with a very important injury update for both sides. Then we'll go on to 5 keys to victory for the Washington football team. And then lastly, I will be giving you guys my score prediction for the game. If you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. And remember, check out House of Hoodies. Use code Pedro for 15% off. Okay, so first we'll start off with Washington's injury report, and then we'll go to the Giants. And ours is pretty quick. Only 2 players in the injury report, which is really good news. We're finally getting healthy. The only 2 players that did not play today, wide receiver Dontrell Inman and left tackle Jerron Christian. Dontrell Inman has a hamstring issue. I don't think he was on the limited list, the last couple of days. So I think this is an injury that happened last practice or this practice. And Jerron Christian is still dealing with that knee injury that he had before the bye. But you know what? Cornelius Lucas has been playing, or he played pretty well in that Cowboys game. So I'm actually fine with him starting over Jerron Christian. And yeah, we'll see. And Steven Sims is practicing fully and looks like he's on track to be ready for this game against the Giants. And if he is, that's going to be a huge boost to this offense because, his first couple games, he barely got targeted. I think the first game was 3 times. And in both of the first 2 games, he had over 50 yards. So I'm excited to see what he can do if he does indeed come back. Because, that might be able to open up the field for Terry McLaurin a little bit. Because if Terry gets doubled, I'm confident in Steven Sims. We'll see what happens with Dontrell Inman and Jerron Christian, but only 2 players in the injury report is really good news, especially when those 2 players, aren't very significant players. So now real quick, on to the Giants injury report. We'll go through this quick. Did not play Ryan Lewis, and this is today. Devontae Adams, a linebacker, was limited. Devontae Freeman, their running back, was limited. Their best linebacker, Blake Martinez, was limited. Logan Ryan, a really good corner for them. He is limited with the hip injury. And then Sterling Shepard, one of their better receivers, is out with, or was limited with the shoulder and toe injury. So they got a lot of good players banged up. No one really that looks like they're not going to play, but who knows? They could have a few questionable players. And a couple significant players. So that is it right there for the injury update. But now on to the 5 keys to victory for the Washington football team. And then we'll go to the score prediction. And the first one is, and I know I say it a lot, but especially this week against the Giants, this is the most important key to victory. And usually it is, but I feel like against this team, it is especially important. And this is, you have to win the turnover battle. You absolutely have to win the turnover battle. Last time against the Giants, one of my keys to victory was, you got to force turnovers against Daniel Jones. But this one, it's a better one. You have to be able to win the turnover battle. Last game, why did we lose against the Giants? We turned the ball over on offense twice. They turned it over once. So, and they got 14 points off of those turnovers. So, and we only got 3. So we have to be able to force a couple turnovers for Daniel Jones, but also not turn the ball over on offense. So we don't want any silly picks by Kyle Allen, any fumbles by Kyle Allen, or anyone on the team. Let's play a clean game. I mean, you look at these numbers, 34 turnovers in his first 20 games for Daniel Jones. He's just been atrocious when it comes to taking care of the football. He shows flashes of being a decent quarterback, but then he just goes and turns it over a lot. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to win the turnover battle. Like I said, that's why we lost the last game, or one of the reasons why. So I think if we can win this turnover battle, we have a very good chance of winning this game. I'm looking for us to force like 2 turnovers. That we have to be able to do that, especially against Daniel Jones. And then next one, it's kind of a combination of 2, but you got to get the run game going so Kyle Allen isn't forced to win you the game. Against the Giants, we really didn't get the run game going, and Kyle Allen ended up throwing the ball 42 times, and you don't want Kyle Allen especially to be throwing the ball 42 times. You want him to be throwing in that, 27 to 33 range. That's a sweet spot. You want Gibson to have like 14, 15 plus carries, and, McKissick in that close to double digit range, maybe 7, 8 carries. And I think we got to rely on the run game, get it established, because I know this defensive line of theirs is decent, but we don't want Kyle Allen to throw the ball a lot this game. And last game our run game wasn't great, so I think we got to build on that, get it a little bit better. And I think Gibson, he's been developing these last few weeks, and they've had time off the bye week. They've got 2 weeks since their last game, and they're going to have a little bit more time to scheme up against the Giants. So that is the second one. Establish the run game so Kyle Allen isn't forced to throw the ball 40 times like he did last game. This one's very quick, but we have to play better on special teams overall. And, Tress Way has been, doing decent on punting, but Dustin Hopkins has to make his kicks, however many kicks he kicks this weekend against the Giants, gotta make them all, or especially make a decent amount of them. Can't miss anything under 50 yards. He's been missing those consistently this year. We have to be able to play good on special teams, and get a few nice punt returns and kick returns to get the offense in better field position. Hopefully we can do that. And the only really bad thing on special teams, besides missing the kick last 2 weeks ago, was we allowed a 67-yard return for Tony Pollard, and part of that was the kick. So get better on those. We don't want to give them good field position, and we want to start off with good field position. And hopefully Hopkins isn't the reason we lose this game again. He was part of it last week, but we got to make our kicks. So that is the third key to victory right there. And the next one is limit their receivers and don't let their receivers get some big plays. I mean, Darius Slayton and Daniel Jones have a good deep ball connection. Daniel Jones missed them so many times against the Bucks. Like this guy said, Darius Slayton could have had 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Sterling Shepard also, he's pretty good. Not a great deep threat, but he's a good receiver overall when healthy. So we got to be able to limit them. And overall on defense, we have to limit the big plays. So don't let Daniel Jones, get a 50-yard run. But most importantly, like I said, limit the receivers and don't let them get any big plays, because Darius Slayton is a good deep threat. So we have to, contain him as a wide receiver. And they got a couple other guys in Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard, but Darius Slayton is the main guy. So that is the fourth right there. And the fifth one is we got to protect Kyle Allen, because, part of the reason sometimes, not necessarily in the first game, but, sometimes when he turns the ball over, it's because of pressure. It forces him to throw some bad throws. And sometimes fumble the ball. And I think Cornelius Lucas is going to play this week, and I think that's going to help us out a little bit. And, we'll see how our offensive line holds up. Their D-line, isn't the best pass rushing wise, but they're still solid. They're good run stopping defensive line. But, if we can hold up against their defense, allow less than 2 sacks, don't allow too many pressures, that'll help out Kyle Allen a lot. And I think, that'll help us out in the first key to victory, to not to win the turnover battle, because that's a big reason why Kyle Allen turns the ball over a lot. So now on to my score predictions. So, we did lose the first game against the Giants, but that was a very winnable game. Not only do I think if we would have went to overtime in that game, we would have won, but also the turnovers, which especially the fumble was a fluke play, we would have won that game. Also missed field goals. So my score prediction, we also have 2 weeks off, and the Giants are coming off a, heartbreaking loss on Monday, so they have a short week. So I'm going to say 24-16. I think it's going to be a somewhat close game, but I do think we're going to win the game. I think we're going to score like 3 touchdowns, maybe a field goal if Dustin Hopkins can make it. I think our offense is going to be able to move the ball down the field, and I think our defense is going to be able to hold them. 16 points is very, very solid, and I think they're going to be able to do that. It's going to be a close game though, or at least I think it will be, but we just got to make sure. The biggest thing is win the turnover battle, get to Daniel Jones, force him to have a couple turnovers, and Kyle Allen play a clean game. We don't need him to go out there and throw 300 yards, but if he can throw 1 or 2 touchdowns, 250 yards, and no turnovers, that right there is gonna win us the game. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new, remember to subscribe, turn on those post notifications, like the video, and yeah, hopefully we can get that win. Peace.